Alright, what is going on, everybody? Matitude22 back at you guys with another video. So as you can see, we have a very special video. We are going to be looking at a bunch of DC Universe classics figures. Give me a second to realign my tripod. Okay, give me a sec, guys. Alright, there we go. All is well. Sorry for that. Yeah, we can see we're very zoomed in. Alright, so here's the deal. I recently completed my DC Universe Classics Build-A-Figures. Just the waves 1 to 20. I'm still missing a couple other Build-A-Figures. I'm still missing the 2 Green Lantern waves. And whatever. Anyway, moving on. I don't have all the Build-A-Figures here. I do have Kilowog and Gorilla Grodd. But I kind of already reviewed those on this channel, so I didn't really figure I'd review them again. I do have Ultra Humanite hanging around, but you're going to see what I got going for him. And I do have Giganta, but I don't have her yet. And that will be explained in good time, but anyway, guys, so I figured we would just kind of look at the rest, because I acquired a couple. I already had a few. I already had Metallo, and I already had, like, Steel, Darkseid, Bane, Metallo, Antimonitor, and Validus. The other ones I got new, but I figured, hey, you know what? Let's just make a fun video, and let's just look at a whole bunch of stuff. Alright, so let's just get into it. Let's just do Metamorpho. I'm not going to do this in any kind of order. Let's just take a look at Metamorpho, who was the first DC Universe Classics Build-A-Figure. As you can see, this is just a regular 6-inch figure compared to these Titans. Nice figure anyway. So you got the orange and the purple does have some nice texturing on it. Now the ab crunch is a little bit loose. I got this secondhand, obviously, so that beyond my control, but still pretty good condition. He has the big kind of lava firearm, and that's got some nice texturing and some nice sculpting on it. Looks really cool. And then he has the big kind of steel hammer, and again, you can see just very nice overall texturing. You see, yeah, there we go. Overall, zoom in, come on, focus, that's what I meant. Yeah, so you can see some nice texturing, and he's got the muddy leg and the more silver and with the translucent foot. I do have the leg that you kind of pop in. I wasn't too sure. I don't know. I couldn't really get that to fit on correctly, so I just kind of left that aside. You see the face sculpt is pretty good. Other than that, nice figure, nice Build-A-Figure. You can see they did this the first one, and then after that, they never went back to the small Build-A-Figures until, like, Multiverse came. But anyway, articulation, head moves side to side. You get the forward and back. Like I said, this guy is really loose, but still in pretty good condition. And, I didn't pay an arm and a leg for him, so that's good. So you can see he has all the regular articulation of DC Universe Classics. Nothing new there. Very cool figure. I like this guy a lot. This was one I was really excited to get. Alright, Bane is nice and at front, so let's take a look at Bane. Another very good figure. I think this figure is underrated. I think this is easily the best Bane figure. I know a lot of people really like the Storm Collectibles one, the Injustice one that just came out, and that's fine. If you want to get you an Injustice Bane and use that as your main kind of DC Bane, that's totally fine. You can do that. But this is a real kind of comic Bane. I like this figure a lot. He's big enough that he warrants being a Build-A-Figure, but he's not oversized. You can see he's got the belt and the Venom applicator right there. Cool, with the tube kind of plugging into the back of his head. Some wires. Got the mask. Pretty good condition. This is one I actually did complete. I actually bought all the figures in this wave, and I actually did end up building him and completing him. I think this was one of my first Build-A-Figures. Oh, Really quick, I do have Necron as well, but don't have him here because again I have something else planned for Necron, so stay tuned. But yeah, enough detours. Yeah. Yeah. Bane, all in all, good figure. I mean, again, the Injustice Bane is really good too, and it's probably the better figure. But I'm just really sentimentally attached to this Bane. I think this just really is the classic, definitive Bane. Next, we're gonna take a look at Darkseid, another figure where Mezco kind of, I don't know if they did it better. I know Mezco put out a Darkseid that a lot of people liked, but I feel like this really is the classic Darkseid. Now, he has this gauntlet, which me and a lot of people, I think, don't really know what this is for. So if you do know what's the purpose of this, please feel free to let me know in the comments. But it looks cool. And again, he's big. Darkseid is big enough to warrant being a Build-A-Figure, but again, he's not oversized. Like, he's not colossal, which I do like. Face sculpt is really good. So you can see they kind of nailed that. Very nice. He's got the little boom tube device on the back. I mean, some cracks in the legs. He is made of stone. Very nice, man. Very nice. Look at that face sculpt. Focus. Yeah, just excellent, excellent, excellent. And he's got the long FMBs, so that's pretty cool. Actually, the DC Icons Darkseid was really good too, but that one was really, really huge. So that might be a little on the big side, but it was a good one too. All right, moving right along, we have Destro. This is a really cool one. Really happy to have this one. So first things first, he comes with these two really big guns. And if you're asking me, wondering why I'm not doing the articulation, because they all pretty much have the same DC articulation. There's these two big guns. They both look cool, especially this one though. A lot of nice paint work on it, a lot of nice sculpting, which again is hard to make out because my camera doesn't want to focus. But yeah, a lot of nice paint work, a lot of nice sculpting. Face sculpt is good. He's got the, there you go, he's got the extra eye on the top. Similar body type to Darkseid and Bane. He's big enough, but he's not huge. My one flaw here is you can see the torso is not the same color as the rest of the body. And actually, this is one I did buy secondhand. Darkseid and Bane I completed. I built them. This is one I got secondhand. So I can't really speak on that. It could have been just not been taken care of properly. But nonetheless, nice figure. I mean, where the belt is, you can see the silver. The buckles are painted. He's got the brown boots. A little bit of paint on there. I think this is supposed to hook up. I think there's a way to get this to hook up. I don't know if I'm missing a piece or whatever, but these pieces are kind of just free-flowing. I think they're supposed to connect. I'm not sure how. I don't think it's supposed to go like that. But looks cool anyway. Very cool looking figure. I like the guns. I like the look of this one. I just like this one a lot. Yeah. I like this guy a lot. I like the skin tone, minus the little ab right there. I think they did, other than that, a good job. Actually, just you can see the bullets right there. Very nice figure, man. And Destro is a pretty minor character. He's not super minor, but he's not like huge. He's not a huge character. He's not like Darkseid level character. So that's one I could see kind of not getting remade. All right. Moving right along, we have Apache Chief, which is actually the last one I acquired. This is another one that I just bought loose. Very happy to have this guy. I think he looks great. Very nice condition. Not a lot to say. I mean, the face sculpt is good. Other than that, I mean, it's just kind of like a blank body. Like you can see his shorts are just painted on. He has the sash with the belt and the vest. So got the nice kind of brown boots. Not a lot of color here. He's got a kind of darker skin tone, which she's a Native American, so he should have a darker skin tone. And it matches the brown, if that makes any sense. So you're not getting a lot of bright colors. You get the orange, but even the orange is really dark and really subtle. So it all just kind of blends together nicely. But this is still a decent figure. Happy to have this guy for my Super Friends. So I think I'm pretty much finished for my Super Friends, minus maybe the Wonder Twins 2-pack. Sorry, I had to take a drink. Minus maybe the Wonder Twins 2-pack. I think I'm pretty close to being finished on Super Friends character. But yeah, really nice, really tall. I think Giganta is the tallest. I think Giganta is the tallest. I could be wrong about that, but I do believe she's the tallest. All right, next up we have Solomon Grundy. I can't say. Words cannot express how excited I am to have this Build-A-Figure. I did buy this one loose as well. This is just a beast of a Build-A-Figure, man. And Solomon Grundy does not have a lot of figures. Like, he has this one. He has one or two DC Directs. Like, I think he has the Alex Ross Justice. And I think he has, like, a Kingdom Come one. I could be wrong about that. Grundy doesn't have a lot of figures, man. He has the really gigantic Arkham one, which, again, I think it would just be too big. But really excellent figure. The face sculpt is just awesome. It almost looks like animated with the lines in the eyes. Very cool. And you can see some cracks all around. The hair sculpt is good. The shirt is kind of dirty at the bottom, and the sleeves, they're all ripped up and tattered. You can see holes all in the jacket. And the pants, really nice sculpting, really excellent. Like Apache Chief, there's not a lot of colors here. They just kind of, for the most part, they just tend to kind of blend together, minus the green shirt. But again, the green shirt is very subtle. It does look like it has maybe a little like yellowing just over time. This is obviously an older figure, so you have to kind of expect that stuff a little bit, but still a good figure, still in great shape. The person I bought this from took really good care of it, so very happy about that. If you're watching this and you sell old figures on eBay, which I often do, thank you, man. Thank you for keeping your figures in good shape, because it's nice when you can buy them and you buy a secondhand figure and it just looks perfect. Like, it just looks like I literally just built this out of the package myself. Really cool. I love this Grundy. I love the size. I love everything about it. That might be one of my favorite action figures. Next, we have another figure that I did complete. This is one I completed. So I got out of action figure collecting, and it was actually my wife who got me kind of back into collecting when she bought me the Necron wave of DC Universe Classics, which was the last one. So she got me all those. I built the Necron, and then, just like in the immortal words of John Wick, yeah, I think I'm back. I was back, and I actually, a couple of these waves, like the later ones, the Stripe, the Antimonitor, Validus, Bane, possibly Darkseid, I can't really remember, but I know those ones for sure. I was able to acquire those because they were still kind of hanging around at comic book shops and Walmarts and stuff like that. So a lot of the older waves I was able to complete relatively simple. It was the kind of earlier waves that gave me a hard time. But nonetheless, I was eventually able to do it. So Stripe was one that was just kind of hanging around. But this is a cool figure, man. He kind of reminds me of... are y'all familiar with Big Guy and Rusty? If you ever saw Big Guy and Rusty, he reminds me of the big guy. But yeah, nice figure, nice sculpt. Like I said, a lot of nice attention to detail. I don't get why they painted the fingernails. That seems a little bit odd to me, but he does have the S for Stripe painted there, and then the 2 blue dots on the back. Other than that, no really paint on this guy. But like I said, a lot of nice sculpting and a lot of nice texturing. I think Stripe should technically be a tiny bit bigger. I'm not sure. This is one character that kind of... He kind of changes depending on who he's writing him. Sometimes, like, it's a gigantic robot. Sometimes it's almost just a suit. But he looks really cool. I really love this figure. I just can't say enough good things about this figure. Mattel really killed it with the Build-A-Figures. I know a lot of people give Mattel a hard time. But Mattel definitely knocked it out of the park when it came to Build-A-Figures. Excuse me, guys. It's going up for a yawn. Excuse me. And this is a perfect example of that. The blues and the reds, they all look really nice together. Very good job from Mattel. And Stripe. Alright, next we have Impure, who was like a Legion of Superheroes villain. He's like a 31st century villain. This is another one that I kind of bought completed. And I actually got him for a little bit cheaper because the head is messed up. But you know, it's small price to pay. Nice looking figure. I like the red and the black and the gold. And I mean the cape. Really cool. Face sculpt. He's like a bobblehead. It's like a bobblehead. Face sculpt is freaking cool, man. I think they really did a good job on the face sculpt. This is just a overall nice figure. I like this one a lot. I know I'm saying that with like every figure, but it's because I really like the DC Universe Classics Build-A-Figures. I think they just did a really good job with all of them. So if it seems like I keep saying that, it's because I really feel like they knocked it out of the park. Impure, perfect example of that. Again, the black and the gold look really nice together. Very cool. It seems like I'm not spending a lot of time talking about them, but it's just because they're Build-A-Figures. There's often not really a lot to say. Like Anti-Monitor here, who this figure again was one I had no issue completing. I wonder if this one is gonna go. I wonder if this is one that might start to go up in value because the Arrowverse Crisis they did. I'm not sure. I could see that though. Anyway, good figure. Like I said, there's not a lot to say with this one. He's got the kind of Colossus body, the metal with the lines and the indents. He's got the Colossus body. The face sculpt is really good. You could see some paint inside his mouth, which I think is a nice feature. He's got the open mouth. He's got a big purple cape, which actually kind of ripped. I don't recall how that happened, but yeah, you can see it's starting to rip. Other than that, this kind of steel blue looks nice. The gold looks nice. The tubes everywhere. I like this figure, but not one of my favorites. I think this one is just okay. But that face sculpt is really, really good. Alright, we got 6 Build-A-Figures left. We're actually rolling through these pretty quick. Again, not trying to make this video take forever, but I'm not trying to rush too much either. But alright, next we're going to look at the Atom Smasher, who I would say is probably the shortest. Not the shortest. Like, he's taller than Kalibak and he's taller than Metamorpho, but I don't think he's really taller than anybody else. But this is another one that I'm not really a fan of. I like him just fine, and I'm happy to have him. But he's just kind of okay. The red and the blue, there is some shading. So you can see on the back muscles, there is some shading there. Other than that, the face sculpt is just really basic. You can see the indent of the face in the mask, which is a nice touch. And the gauntlets, they have a little bit of silver paint on them, as do the boots. He's got the belt, which is a little bit of scuff right there. Yeah, just not, I don't know, this one just kind of doesn't blow me away. Although I will say the shading is good. I do like the shading. This is another one I was pretty close to completing. And then I just kind of gave up and ended up selling all the pieces. Because excuse me guys, I got another yawn coming on. Again, sorry for that. I ended up just kind of selling all the pieces and rebuying him, and he wasn't cheap. I think he was probably the cheapest of all the Build-A-Figures. So we're gonna take a look at Kalibak. So this is what I'm saying. Kalibak obviously is a smaller Build-A-Figure, but he's more bulky. Like, this is definitely one that could have been single packed. Like, he didn't need to be a Build-A-Figure, but he is thick. He is a thick boy. So I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. Looks good. Face, as always, the face sculpt, they knocked it out of the park. Just excellent. Like I said, these are proof that when Mattel wanted to be good, they could be good. Excuse me. Once again, he suffers from the torso joint. Is a little bit lighter green. I don't know if you guys can really make that out on camera, but the torso is definitely a lighter green. But hey, you know what? It's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. I think it still looks good. The chest hair is all sculpted on, or the chest hair, I should say, the body hair is all kind of sculpted on, so it's very nicely textured, and you can see that. So he's got some stuff going on with the belt. Comes with his big club. I know there was a brown version that they did in the Superpowers kind of like retro line. There was a brown Kalibak, but I think the green one is really the way to go, if I'm being honest. But if you have the brown one, you probably don't need this one. You just be good with that. And if you have this one, I would say you definitely don't need the brown one. I think there was only one other Kalibak figure, which, again, Kalibak's another one. It's another character that he doesn't get figures every day, so I'm definitely happy to have this one. I did complete this guy, but I got all the pieces on eBay, so I didn't buy the Build-A-Figure just built. I got some of them in stores, I think, but I think for the most part I ended up just buying some pieces on eBay because they were pretty cheap. Alright, moving right along, we can see this big guy in the background. So we have Camel. This is one that was really hard to complete. Not as hard as Giganta, but he was tough in his own right, just because that Black Adam was so hard to get. He was going for so much. But yeah, Camel, very nice. So he's just basically all translucent green plastic. You can see like the legs are kind of hollow, so he's just got kind of like an outer shell, but you can see they did do their best to make it look like he's bubbly, and you can kind of see the inner workings of Camo. Like I said, they did their best to make him look bubbly. I think this is a nice figure. I think it's probably the only Camo. I can't imagine him getting another figure anytime in the future. So this is definitely a nice one. You can see the bronze bits. There's some nice dry brushing over these arms and the feet. There's a nice kind of black wash. You can see the feet. Looks very cool. He does have gigantic feet, which definitely means he can support his weight, which is good. Obviously, you would want that in a figure, you know, and the hands do rotate. He doesn't have the same articulation. Like I said, these all have mostly the same articulation, minus Camel. He doesn't have any torso joints, no, except for like a waist twist. Other than that, I mean, I think he's got the same, just a little bit different. So the hands kind of move instead of the bicep swivel. But nice figure, nice bright green. This is one, yeah, like I said, I did complete him, but I kind of cheated. I bought all the pieces. I bought a lot of pieces on eBay. I found a couple pieces myself, but a couple of them did come from eBay, just because this guy was really hard It took me a while because the pieces were not hard to get, but they were expensive, and you know, sometimes you gotta think budget. Other times you just gotta be like, all right, fuck it. All right, next. I didn't do these in any specific order, just which ones I could grab. This is another one that I'm kind of not crazy about. So we have Validus. No real sculpting on this guy. It's all just paint. You can see the feet. The hands look okay, but they didn't paint the fingernails, or they did, but they just painted them a darker shade of purple. Yes, actually they did paint the fingernails. And the problem with Validus, it seems like we'll never get a completed Fatal 5 unless the other members have figures I just don't know about. Like, we need a Mono, we need a Persuader, we need Biohazard, we need Emerald Empress. I'd love to have that completed Fatal 5, but aside from that, I think Validus just kind of stands on his own. I think they just made him because he's a large DC character. But the face sculpt is cool for what it is. I'm surprised they never reused this kind of brain part, like not this part exactly, but I'm surprised they never used more like a shrunken down version to make like a Simon. But yeah, pretty cool either way for what it is, especially like I said, the brain part does look nice. Just not overly impressive. This is one that doesn't really kind of knock my socks off. Alright, let's move on to Trigon, another one that took me a while to build. I like Trigon. Very, very tall, very menacing. That face sculpt, I absolutely love that face sculpt. I think that just looks awesome. Very scary, very cool. The body itself, he's just a red, kind of Atom Smasher-like body with the white boots that are basically just painted on. No sculpting there. And he's got the little gauntlets on the side. He's got the sash. No undies. They didn't even give him undies, which is weird to me. So, like, is he just naked under the sash? Don't know. Should have given him some underwear. And then he has a big staff, which is kind of cool, but there's no paint on it. It's just kind of molded white staff. But hey, I will give him that he does have this nice fabric cape, which looks good. And it does have a bendy wire, so you can kind of pose the cape and angle the cape however you like. Minus the big tag. That just looks really bad. He's just, so you can see the big tag on the cape, which I'm hesitant to just kind of tear off because I don't want to damage it, but definitely you're gonna have to cut that off. That just doesn't look good, but I thought I'd save it for the review, and it doesn't look as bad if you kind of get him in the right pose. The paint apps for the skin is nice, but this really, it's all about the face for Trigon. I think that face is just awesome. Last but not least, I did save this one for last because this is one of my favorite figures in my collection. DC Universe Classic Series 5 Metallo. This was a Walmart exclusive wave. I bought this entire wave on Big Bad Toy Store for $50, guys. $50 for this entire wave. Excuse me. What can I say about this figure? For the most part, I think he's 100% new parts. I could be wrong about that. I think he's all new parts. I love all the different sculpting going on. Like, I love this torso where it just kind of rotates in any direction. I think that looks really cool. I mean, the hands and the kind of big gear, the way they took advantage of kind of showing the articulation point and making it like a big gear. Does have these giant hands that are not articulated, which is fine. They don't really need to be. I mean, the legs look cool. It's got a nice kind of bronze, like a dry brushing, kind of like a bronze color on the feet. The face, I think, is awesome. I think they over-delivered with the face. The mouth does kind of open and close. It doesn't really stay open. But even just the detail in the eyes, on the back, he's got these big kind of menacing shoulders. And then you kind of pop open the chest, and he's got that kryptonite heart. I think that looks great. Just really cool. Really nice job on the kryptonite heart. I think this figure is a 10 out of 10. I think they nailed it. I think he just looks cool. I like the blue and the bronze and the green. Just everything about this figure I love. If you guys watch Spaghetti and Friends Toy Show, we did a Hall of Fame. This was actually the figure I inducted into this year's Hall of Fame, and I don't regret that decision. I think this is a great figure. Like I said, I hope this video has proven that Mattel is not the shitty brand that a lot of people just kind of write them off to be. They did give us good Build-A-Figures, and they could be good when they wanted to be. But that is it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this quick look and quick review at some of these Build-A-Figures. There's no packaging here. Like I said, I do have a couple other ones. I do have Ultra Humanite, I do have Necron, and I do have Giganta. But I got other stuff planned for those. Gorilla Grodd and Kilowog. Like I said, I already reviewed those, so go back and look on my channel. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys have yourselves a great day. Don't forget to like this video. Don't forget to subscribe. Share the video with your friends. Leave me a nice comment. I love getting feedback and criticism. But again, just please don't be a dick. There's no need for it. If you leave me a troll comment or a dick comment, I'm just going to delete it, and that's it. So if you guys got some feedback, I always am happy to hear that. Let me know which one of these Build-A-Figures was your favorite. I already said mine was Metallo, but I'm curious as to which one you guys like the best. As always, thank you so much. Have a great day. I will see you guys in the next video. Stay safe, and bye.